My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Every single week, we break down full UFC fight cards. We give you our picks, our bets, and our fantasy plays. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our content. And we're also giving away $50. Anybody who goes to WeWantPicks.com/bets, signs up with one of our 5 betting partners, and makes a deposit, will get $50 from us. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, however you want it. And this is brought to you by EarnYouIO. EarnYouIO is the world's first sports and esports prediction game, allowing you to earn crypto risk-free. Check it out now at EarnYouIO. We had a couple of switch-ups at UFC Vegas 52, and we are going to go ahead and dive in. Preston Parsons loses his opponent, but Evan Elder is stepping up on short notice, making his UFC debut. So let's jump right in. We have Preston Parsons, 9-3 overall. He's 4-1 in his last 5. He is coming off of a KO loss to Daniel Rodriguez, and he's taking on Evan Elder, who's 7-0 overall. He's 5-0 in his last 5. He is coming off a win in December. Evan Elder is a lightweight. This fight's at welterweight. He is a lightweight. He's stepping up on short notice, and he is fighting at welterweight. And I mentioned he's stepping up on short notice, but he was booked to fight on May 6th, and that's just a few weeks away from now. So this part of his training camp, he's obviously in camp. He technically, before this, had a fight coming up in a few weeks. And this part of camp, you're not worried about your weight. You're not cutting your weight yet, and you're still in training, but you're starting to wind down because it's only in a few weeks. So I would say he's probably, I don't know what he normally walks around at, but he's probably pretty comfortable stepping in at welterweight because he hasn't started to cut yet, and he's probably naturally around that anyway. So he will be a little undersized, I'm assuming, but the reality is it's not like he is a tiny, tiny man that is jumping up multiple weight classes. It's up one single weight class. He's essentially just not going to be cutting weight. And skill-wise, Elder's a very talented guy. He's pretty good everywhere. He has a loose striking style where he lands heavy kicks and solid punching combinations. He definitely has power in both hands and has dropped multiple people with short hooks. He has solid takedowns as well. And when he hits the mat, he stays very composed, and he will methodically work for control while still managing to land strikes. He has solid submission defense, and he will absolutely need that in this fight. Preston Parsons is coming off a short notice loss in his UFC debut. He's a very slick grappler. He has a 100% submission finish rate in all of his wins. He's a BJJ black belt who moves forward aggressively, throwing big shots to set up his takedowns. He is coming off that KO loss, but he does have a pretty solid chin generally. And this is an interesting fight because Evan Elder is stepping up on short notice, and he is fighting up a weight, but he's a very talented kid who has been training essentially his entire life to be an MMA fighter. He started when he was like 7 or 8 years old to be an MMA fighter. He wasn't a wrestler that turned into fighting. He wasn't doing karate and then turned it into MMA. He, from day one, said, I want to be in the UFC, and has been fighting mixed martial arts as a whole. And the whole word on Evan Elder is that he's the next big thing, next generation. He's the real deal. And we will start to see more of that because a lot of these kids are growing up with the UFC already existing, and they know they need to be good at everything, and they're not transitioning from one sport or another. And I do think he is UFC ready. I just wish this wasn't short notice. So I think Evan will be the cleaner striker and will definitely have more power, but Preston will be far more dangerous on the ground. And even though Evan is undefeated, he has gotten into some trouble on the ground in the past. If you look up some of his regional fights, he's only got 7, and then amateur, which I don't matter. If you look up and watch some of those fights, he does get into trouble. He doesn't get submitted. It's not like razor thin, but he can get into some trouble and into some bad scrambles on the ground. And I'm split here because I think Evan Elder is the real deal, but I do think the size difference might be an issue. And on the flip side of that, Preston Parsons can be submission or bust. So this is a really tough pick because Elder has good submission defense. Preston Parsons' historically only path to victory is submissions. Evan Elder's taking on short notice. His cardio should be fine, but it'll probably be a little bit undersized. We can just see a couple inches in height. The reach is about the same, and unfortunately, this is another fight where I will be staring at the weigh-ins. I need to see what Evan Elder looks like, how they are physically, and if there's a big size difference, because if Preston Parsons has a meaningful size advantage, I see him being able to bully the takedowns and then control from there. But if not, if they're similarly sized, Evan Elder is the better striker. He can probably stick and move, fight a smart game. He is at Sanford MMA. Although they've hit a bit of a skid recently, they're losing more than they're winning. They are well game planned. He's got fantastic training partners. I think they said he's Michael Chandler's #1 training partner. So obviously very talented guy. I mean, this is like a razor thin pick. I like Evan Elder here because he is the more talented, well-rounded guy. But Preston Parsons is dangerous. Preston Parsons has been training for a striker because his original opponent was a striker, and Preston Parsons will be larger. So I will be watching weigh-ins closely. I may flip this pick. I hate to give you guys, like, you look to me to be like, here's all the insight and the research, because I don't feel like doing the research, and give me a firm pick. This is a really hard fight to do a firm pick on because Evan Elder is the real deal, but short notice is short notice. Up a weight is up a weight, and Preston Parsons is dangerous on the ground. But I do think Evan Elder can pull this off. But we'll see what happens. I am looking forward to it. I do love these highly touted prospects, especially there is a lot of talk about how good Evan Elder is on a regional scene. So we'll see what happens with this fight. Let me know your pick in the comments below. And don't forget to join our free Discord. It literally costs nothing. Hop in there, share your thoughts, share your picks, share your insight. The link is in the description.